How many of you guys play games online and are able to communicate with people that you may not know? You don't know those people, and you play with them online. There's something called Fortnite, I believe. Is that still popular? Yeah, Fortnite. Is there anything else like Fortnite? Fortnite's been around for a long time, actually. But the problem with Fortnite and these types of games is that you're communicating with people that you may not even know who they are. And now they start reeling you in, just like all the other social media platforms. So here's my question to you, because I'm happy that most of you are youth, okay? Remember what I asked at the end. What do you think social media should look like from a Christian perspective, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, even maybe 40, 50 years from now when you are titis and gedus? What can we do, our generation, Uncle Megdi, Dr. Samuel, myself, people of our age, kida, can help you prepare, just like St. John the Baptist did, prepare the way so social media is a more healthy solution for us. We want your ideas. And speak up, please. One at a time, though.
All right, this is a bit off topic, but for like the story you
No,
said,
stay on the topic.
like for like the story you said earlier, like I don't get like the logistics of hanging yourself.
I can hear you.
I don't get like the logistics of hanging yourself, because first of all, like how do you like manage that?
Let's not talk about. Let's not talk
No need
about
to go
that.
into the details.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know that that's bad, right? Do you agree?
Close the
That's it.
door.
Stick to the question I asked. Okay.
So basically, anything that you can post comments on counts as social media.
Yeah. So my question is, how can we help you prepare for the future, for your kids and your grandchildren? So social media is a more healthy Christian solution for us. What can we do to help you?
We could. I've got it. This is basically the same question I asked for when the other guy was doing stuff, doing a slides about Paul. Why can't we just post things on social media that say bad things about social media and they don't reject it? Do people ever do that? I mean,
There are. Yeah, sure. But I'm asking for solutions.
we could do that. Like we could post
Okay.
a strike.
But is this
and
gonna,
then we and then,
is this going to be a long-term solution for us, that we just keep posting and say social media is bad? Is that realistic, Yanni?
maybe I think
Maybe.
probably. Yeah.
Give a chance to Matt.
Go ahead.
Go, Matt.
We need solutions, right? And I want to also hear from the adults, okay?
Maybe we can learn more about the past and stick to the past.
What do you mean by that?
Like when phones weren't made or even a thing, not even planned to be made, people would like communicate with each other. They would ride their horses with each other.
So are you suggesting that we think of how we communicated in the past, maybe in my time, where we didn't have social media and we actually picked up the phone and talked to people, or maybe even sent a letter or a card to people, or maybe got gathered at a coffee shop or at church and actually had a relationship with them? Is that what you're referring to? That becomes more of the emphasis of our relationship with people versus using social media as the only way to communicate with people? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah.
I like that suggestion.
Yes.
And how do we do that? How do we instill, because I could tell you, I struggle with our youth telling them, pick up the phone, let's go out.
I mean, you can, okay, yeah, it's hard to get off your phone. You can use it for emergencies. You can use it for that type of stuff. But don't use it for the unvalid reasons.
Okay.
Use it for valid reasons.
Go ahead.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I hear you, Matthew. Very good.
So I have two solutions. One,
Yeah.
there's this thing my parents have where if I want to get an app, I have to send a request to them. And if they decline it, I can't get the app. They won't let me, like it won't download.
So do you like that?
Yeah, because
Good. I'm
Exactly.
glad. Very nice. Can you say that again, because I think that's everyone, and speak louder.
there's this thing where if you want to get an app, you have to send a request to your parents, and then if they accept the app, if they think it's good, they'll send it back to you.
So let me follow up a question on that. What age, up until what age should you continue to do that?
Probably until you're like old enough to either drive or have
Give
your
me a
house.
specific, okay, so 18
Like,
maybe?
yeah, 18,
When you
16.
become an adult. I love it. Solutions, very good solution. I don't know if we have an opportunity to take notes or someone can take notes, because I want these notes, these solutions to be publicized to all of you and maybe to the diocese of your diocese, because I think we can learn from that. I really like that. Go ahead.
Okay, so I definitely did not get this idea from Dr. Samuel. It's
What?
putting
I didn't hear what you said.
putting a filter on social media apps.
Very good. Yep.
How to do that?
Like you,
So I will tell you, because I've researched this a lot in myself. The social platforms have made it very difficult.
No. It died? So we'll give you this then. Please give me that.
I forgot my train of thoughts. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I was looking into that. The social platforms actually make it very difficult to put more controls on. So we need to do more research. I think that we owe that to all of you. But there are also some just common sense stuff of who to connect with and limit your social groups and so forth. Mr. Magdi. No, you were going to say.
To add something.
Can you give?
Yeah, social media is not platforms for, is not media platform, is not medical platform. Social media is internet providers. So anybody can post anything in the social media. You have to check everything, even with your parents, and after you have older age, you can check by yourself. That's it.
Can I say something? I was just saying for the solutions, most logic solution, just delete the app. If you don't have the app, you don't need to have anything to do with it.
I think there's a certain percentage of people will actually do that, and they will stop. I've even tried it myself. I will stop Facebook for, say, a period of time. But I don't know if it's very practical for everyone.
I know, it's just,
Even Abuna even spoke to that a little bit himself and said it may not be very practical.
it might not be very practical if just you do it, but like what I was saying is that you delete the app, and then you tell your friends to delete the app, and then your friends, etc., etc., etc.
I delete the app, actually, all the apps actually during fasting. So at least during fasting, I focus. So no distraction. So I save the time.
So when I was almost 13, 14, I had a problem with social media myself. But one thing that I encourage all families, parents, servants, any adult in the church to tell the young kids, these generations is, first thing is social media is fake. Probably fake, because another thing that we can use, another term that we can use for bloggers, YouTubers, whatever, are scammers. They come to you, they start recording, and they start telling you how their life is so good, so bright, because they have that car, because they own a big house, because they have a bunch of friends, because they go visit that country. So they take all, they change the definition of happiness in all these younger generations to a specific thing. They try to convince them that if you don't have this house, then you're not happy. If you don't have that car, then you're not happy. So a lot of younger generations, they start higher their expectations, their standards. They would find this in like middle school nowadays. Now they have a whole different definition of happiness than us when we were their age. Even though it's not that big of a gap. Like it's only 3-4 years difference. But now they won't be happy unless they have like a nice car. They think of any rich one as so happy. They always use Instagram, as you mentioned earlier, that younger generations use Instagram more frequently. They always see people in nice cars, nice houses, going on vacations in different places. So now they convince themselves that we have to go to these places in order to be happy. Otherwise, we won't be.
Yeah, very good. Well, great comments. Anything else? What else can we do to help? Because I think my question also, it revolves around what else can we do as a community to get the word out, okay? Social media is a very hot topic, just like other topics maybe. Mental health is a hot topic. Insecurity is a hot topic. Self-esteem is a hot topic. These are all very hot topics that some of the youth actually said this recently at Abuna Dawood's convention, is that we need to give our youth some answers, but we also need to create ways of making it successful for them. So I don't think we're doing you guys any favor when we don't talk enough about these issues, right? So I'm hoping at least today what you got out of is you need to be more careful in terms of how you use social media. I loved what Mr. Megdi was saying about how it's a network. Not like if I look for information in my industry, I deal with the pharmaceutical industry, I go to the FDA's website. If I want factual information, I'm going to go to the FDA's website. If I want factual information about a company, I'm going to go to their website. Hopefully they're not displaying anything false, right? So the sources of information has to be true. It's like the Bible. We use the Bible as our true source of information. True or false? Right or wrong? True. Okay? But unfortunately, people have misinterpreted the Bible and the teachings of the Bible and the teachings of our faith. Guess what? They're using the social media platform to introduce false information, misleading information. Imagine if Arius, you guys know who Arius was? Huh? He was a heretic. He was a heretic. If he lived in today's age, he would have displayed all the false teachings online. Same with Muhammad. He would have used the social media platform to declare his message. He didn't have social media, and yet look what the percentage of Muslims are in society today. Very sad. And it didn't take social media to create a huge population of unbelievers. Yes?
I saw this one video title. The title was named 50 People Who Mocked God in Live Performances. And I'm like,
Very sad, right?
seriously?
Yeah, very
Did
sad.
you have to do that? And because the main thing that I'm pretty sure the main thing that people say when they do that is like, your imaginary friend in the sky. And
So I want to go
like-
back. I want to go to a topic. Go back to the topic of cyberbullying, okay? Because I think this is a very important topic, and it relates to our decline in mental health. There's many reasons why our mental health is declining, but I do believe a big part of it is the cyberbullying that happens. It's not the bullying just in school, but it's the bullying that happens on social media. Who can speak? Who can maybe, and I can give my own examples, but I want to hear from you guys where you feel either you or someone else has actually been cyberbullied, and maybe speak to how that situation was handled, if you have an example, if you're willing to share that.
Okay, so it's not really about cyberbullying, but it's like because one time I got added to this group. I didn't even know what it was. I was just at
Someone added you
Yeah,
without
they
your
just added-
permission. First problem, right? You got added to something you didn't give permission for.
Yeah, because it's
we
like-
as adults, we need to solve that problem. Agreed?
Yeah. Okay. So I just went to church, and yeah, my tablet's just sitting there charging, all that type of stuff. I come back. I don't use it anything. I just spend time with my family. Until night, I just want to check the time. I see 156 messages texted to me. I don't even know what was happening. I check it, and it was just a random group about something. I didn't even read anything. I just deleted the group.
So this actually happens on WhatsApp, even to me. All of a sudden, I get these group messages about something. It's a weird topic, has nothing to do with me. I don't know how I got added. And there would be hundreds of people on the group, and I would do exactly what you did. I would leave the group. But it's very annoying that the technology is allowing for that, to be honest with you. And by the way, the developers know this stuff is happening and they're not fixing it. And a lot of it, I'm sorry to speak to this, is because the internet and social media is not regulated like life sciences or pharmaceutical companies. It's not regulated at all. There's no controls. The financial institutions, there's regulations because there was fraud in the past. But the social media net platforms, there's really no regulations. And the First Amendment trumps everything. I think Mr. Megdi can attest to that. Yani, it just trumps everything. So, and I'm not suggesting that the regulations need to be as tight as the regulated industry, like the pharmaceutical companies, but this is the problem. There is no controls. You are in command of controlling yourself. Just like anyone commits all these sins, whether it's transgenderism, whether it's homosexuality, whether it's whatever it is, people make the wrong choices. We have to make the right choices when it comes to the way we conduct ourselves on social media. I want to hear from the adults. Betty, 1 second. I'm sorry. I want to hear from the adults. What can we do to help our youth? How can we make things better for them?
So the best way is not to have Facebook. I don't see any reason to have a Facebook. It's fake friends. It's not a good source of information. It's waste of time. So the Bible teaches me that I have to choose and select a good friends. When I go to the Facebook, those are not good friends. I don't know them. Information is fake. It's waste of time. It was proven now. It's a kind of addiction. Now when they do kind of addiction, now they are start to list screens, and social media is a kind of addiction that needs a treatment. It was proven that it caused an anxiety and depression in a lot of people. So it's a lot of harm. To be honest with you, I do appreciate all the church effort to put a lot of good channels, good social medias for our youth, but I'm not sending my kids there. It's like we are having a nightclub or bad places, and I'm sending a good messenger there. I do appreciate that, but I'm not sending my kids in their bath. So I have 3 children, 2 high schooler and 1 middle school. They have 0 Facebooks, 0 social media.
I love what you said, but I'm going to ask another question. Yeah, go ahead.
How about the games, like roadblocks and...
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Did I miss that?
Yeah, but speak
Okay.
to it, please.
So yeah, like if Matthew, for example, or Marcelino watching roadblock, what should what's supposed to our communication, me and him? Like, what should I know? What should Matthew know to watch or not watch on roadblocks, communication and stuff? Thank you.
That's a tough question. So I'm going to hold that thought because I want to go back to, but remind me, please. Sure. So we can make a steadfast rule, no Facebook. But Facebook is not the only social media out there, right? There's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's a lot of other things. So I would assume you're probably including all these other ones that are a waste of time.
I tried hard, so I banned all those social medias from my house, like my kids don't have Instagram, Facebook. But I found myself that they are playing the game and they have their social media way in the game, and one of them has the YouTube.
Yep.
So I found myself, as much as I worked so hard to ban those, that the devil is finding it different.
Yeah. So I think, and I don't think we're going to solve this problem overnight, I think we have to give alternative platforms for our future generation, okay? Because all we're doing, like if you think about, if you go back before in my time when there were magazines and there were bad magazines, right? There were also good magazines and good books and so forth. But the problem is, people were attracted to the bad magazines. So we had to make sure there's good magazines, good spiritual books, and remind our kids, our youth, and even adults that stick to the good things, okay? We need to create, I believe, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, we need to continue to figure out how to create platforms that are truly safe for our children in every way possible. Our Christian community, okay? I'm not talking about, you want to have friends? Have friends. You don't need social media. This is my opinion, I'm with you. You don't need social media like Facebook to befriend people and to keep in touch with people. There's the old-fashioned way, a phone, talking to them on the phone, okay? But even sometimes the thing with texting, and by the way, that, like I said, that's also social media, using a WhatsApp group, but you're limiting, oh, thank you. Hello? You're limiting it. So you're controlling it. So I think we need to come up with solutions for our Christian, our Coptic Orthodox community to give them, and correct me if I'm wrong, alternative solutions versus using Facebook, Instagram, even YouTube, to your point, is very dangerous actually, and there's a way to put controls of that. And it's very hard because if you think about it, all the churches, even in Egypt, across the world, they're making use of these platforms with the idea that this is good. It is good. But the problem is our youth are being consumed more by the bad, not by the good. I don't know if anyone agrees or disagrees. Some adults will say, I don't watch the bad stuff. Okay, I don't pay attention because I've limited my friends, I've limited my group access, I've limited my accounts, like I'm not on TikTok, I'm only on maybe Facebook, or maybe I only use LinkedIn because it's more of a professional network. So I've now put in more controls in place. It's on you also, by the way, because society is not going to change, unfortunately. But I think we have a responsibility as a Christian community. And by the way, having grown up in the church, imagine in 1970, there was no Coptic reader, there was no Kholegi with all the, there was no Psalmodeia, yani, other than in Arabic. It was very difficult to have all this. Now all this information is digitally available. The books of Pope Shenouda, for example, have been translated. The books of Father Tadros Malati. This is all because of the digital age. This is all good. But the digital age has also introduced bad. So we have to ask ourselves the question, how do we, and I'm asking this question of all of you, how can we limit? Because we have control, right? We have control.
You have to speak about the alternatives. Back to the classic way. The classic way, like church activities, exercise, family gathering, reading, real friends. يعني back to the classic way. Back to normal life.
I love it. And you know what? It's very interesting. We are trying to convince our parents of this. We have you, like we'll say, we want a youth meeting for our kids every Friday. And parents will say, I don't have time to bring my kids. You're the problem then. I'm sorry. Forgive me for saying it that way. The parents need to help in this solution. And I'm not blaming the parents, right? 100%. But to go back to the ways that you're talking about, the parents, the servants, they have to work hard. They have to work hard. Unfortunately, the social media has made it easy for us. They can learn about the Coptic Church with this YouTube video. Is that sufficient? No. It's not sufficient. We need to give them Yani, for some of you, the way you were taught, you know? The way you were taught in Egypt, if you were brought up in Egypt, I always tell my wife she was very lucky and blessed that she drank from the teachings of Egypt, you know? We need to figure out how to bring that back here in the land of immigration, especially the United States of America. And I know that you guys are probably looking at me like, this is weird. It's not weird. I remember 25 years ago where our kids loved youth meetings. It was before social media became popular. And they loved youth meetings. They loved learning hymns. They loved going to the amusement park and doing activities and doing things like Mr. Megdi was saying about exercise and activities and going to maybe a baseball game or a soccer game and so forth. These are the things that we need to maybe introduce more to you, so that way it replaces the social media, the debauchery that is unfortunately happening, and we become more consumed with that. Do you guys agree with that, or do you guys not want that? You guys.
I agree with it because I've never been to an amusement park. I've watched soccer games. I'm not really into baseball, but I still like sports. I like doing these activities. Like, I only have my electronics 2 times a week, only on the weekends. Okay? So, I actually feel I feel calm during the week. Like,
Because you stay away from social media?
yes, exactly. Like, I play soccer. It makes me feel good inside. I play with my friends. It makes me feel good inside. And I'm not focusing on social media. Yeah, my friends ask me, hey, what's your number again? Because I forgot. Yeah, because they're my true friends. And I know they want to do anything. And I don't know they're hackers or anything like that. Because I believe them.
So because we're the end of time, can we name 3 things that we can do moving forward? And I want us as you guys as a congregation, maybe as a diocese, to move forward on this for the future of our generation. What's one thing that we can do? Microphone.
Put filter on social media.
Okay. So we'll have to do some research on how for the people to. Now, is it just filters, or would you say we have to maybe go through our friends on Facebook? Some people will believe, like yourself, and I tend to agree with you, just get away from Facebook completely. How many would be prepared, maybe not right away, but in the next month or so, to get themselves out of Facebook 100%? Would anyone be, whoever is on Facebook, that is? You'd be ready to get off Facebook 100%? Okay. So 2 years ago, you dropped out of Facebook and Instagram, you're back to Instagram or you're not? Good.
And then I found the difference that I have more clarity now, less stress, less anxiety, you can say. And I started to practice this more, and I'm Facebook free.
So for those of maybe didn't hear that she's Facebook free, and it's created less anxiety because we saw the statistics that social media is causing anxiety. That's probably reason enough to get away from it completely. Yes. Microphone.
Deleting a app when you are fasting so you can focus.
Just when you're fasting?
Like when you're doing homework.
Okay.
Or in school.
So putting more controls and disabling, do not disturb, things like that in church. That's good. Okay. What else? I did ask for 3, but I'll take more. Go ahead. Microphone.
I will share something I heard from Dr. Hani last session.
Yeah.
I like it. That ask another trusted person to set a password for opening this specific app. So I have no choice to just remember the password. That I need that access from somebody who loves me really, and he sets this rules and help me to get out of this area.
I love that idea actually.
Yeah, very good idea.
For teenagers, completely banning Facebook or social media, it's like being in the middle of the ocean and trying not to get wet. They will eventually try social media if it's not now. When they are adult or old enough to use the social media, they would. But the only difference between them and other people, that other people would be trained to use it, but them not. So our church or the Bible would be the boat that would get them safely, hopefully, through this ocean that they are in the middle of, and eventually to the kingdom of heavens. So we need to teach them how they would use social media instead of banning it.
And we need more. Maybe we need more sessions. Better people than myself, obviously, to talk about this, to be open and honest, to come up with real solutions. I think one solution, too, and some I know kids are not going to like this. Maybe your parents shouldn't permit you to be on any social media until the age of 18. That's a tough one for some people, because I can argue the same thing with don't give your kids a credit card till they're 18. Don't give your kids a checking account till they're adult. Don't give your kids...
Driving has a limit.
I was going to say cell phone. Imagine, a 12-year-old, 13-year-old now has a cell phone. Well, once you introduce a cell phone and you don't put any controls, now you've exposed them to be able to more to social media. So you give them the devices, because that's how, as an IT person, I think we recognize, you give them the devices to enter into this world that Arsenia was talking about. You're not doing them any favor. So you either have to put additional controls or say, I know some parents who say, yeah, I don't give my child or teenager until he's 18 a cell phone. That's a tough one, actually, for teenagers. You're not going to give me a cell phone until I'm 18? I didn't have a checking account till I was 22, by the way, guys. I didn't have a credit card till I was 22. Okay? Can you imagine? We live in a different age, and we have to ask ourselves: do we need to go? Why can't we go back? I know these are tough questions to ask, and I think Arseni pointed. We cannot. Even Abuna Duwit said, eliminating social media is not going to happen, and there is a lot of good that comes out of it. That's why I would prefer that we have maybe more concentrated platforms. If everyone said to me, yeah, I'm not on Facebook, but I'm on CYC, okay? I'm on CTV. I'm on Pureflix, because I like to watch the Christian movies, as opposed to I'm investing in Netflix and Prime, Amazon Prime, which has a lot of garbage, right? Even Peacock, all these streaming channels that came up after COVID. This big problem. Yeah, listen. Microphone?
So I have two things. One, there's this like TV show. It's The Chosen, where they recreate like all the scenes in that happened to Jesus from his birth till, well, I don't know. I haven't seen the whole thing, but and maybe we could start eliminating like the church. We all have our phones. Maybe we could like take all the phones and put it like in a separate room or put it in a lock until the end of church. But like, you know, you don't have to push people to do it. If they want to, they can put it away and they don't have to have it as a distraction.
We actually have Sunday school servants who take the phones away from the kids during Sunday school, and they don't like when we do that to them.
And there's some
suggestion.
like schools where kids have their computers, okay? But some kids could be researching bad things on it, so they could cut off a lot of the computer and the technology in school and start using paper because it's really bad for them.
I think the last thing I would say, and of course if anyone has any other comments, is we are Christians first and foremost, right? So we have to be Christ-like. We know that the world today, we cannot shelter our kids from everything. We just cannot. We would like to think we can, but we cannot. Even if we tell them no Facebook, no TikTok, no Instagram, there are other ways, other means that they're going to find. We need to teach our youth, our young people, even our adults, that we are Christ-like. We have to be Christ-like. We have to think twice before joining any group, before befriending anybody on social media. We really need to think like Christ. We need to think like St. John the Baptist. We need to think like the saints. We can do that in the digital age, by the way. We can. Is it harder? Maybe it is, because the platforms, there's a plethora of platforms out there, unfortunately. Any last comment before we adjourn? No, we have to. Yeah, our time is up. Any last comments?
I have a question regarding my own problem. I'll ask you on the car. Because of the time.
I want to thank you all, and hopefully you guys can continue these conversations, how to improve and have a social media health check. That's what the title was. How do we do a social media health check for ourselves individually? And glory be to God forever.
Thank you so
Amen.
much.